What are you doing here?
Well, it's a party.
Yeah, I know it's a party, but who invited you?
Oh, wow, you mean you have to be invited? That explains it.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most surprising and completely off-the-wall career appearances from actors, considering who their famous relatives are.
I think you got exactly the same eyes as your mother, and your chin's a little bit like hers too.
No, it isn't.
I think it is.
No, and my eyes aren't like hers either.
They are.
No, they're not.
They are.
They're not. I'm
really
nothing like my mother.
Number 10. Isabella Rossolini, Blue Velvet. Audiences and critics didn't know what to expect from this eerie, sleazy, and erotic David Lynch thriller, but perhaps the movie's biggest curveball was the casting of Isabella Rossolini in a pivotal role.
She wore blue velvet.
The daughter of movie star Ingrid Bergman and director Roberto Rossellini, the actress's performance was a far cry from her parents' work in Hollywood and Italy. In Blue Velvet, Rossellini plays a lounge singer who endures harassment at the hands of a depraved criminal. Needless to say, the film really puts her character through the ringer.
I didn't mean to do anything except see you.
What did you see tonight? Tell me!
It's an incredibly difficult and vulnerable role, only made possible by the relaxation of censorship guidelines, a significant shift since the era of Rossellini's parents in the industry.
Stop it! I love you! Love me!
Number 9. Cooper Hoffman, Licorice Pizza.
Perfect, man. You still got it. Thank you, Gary. Really appreciate it.
Philip Seymour Hoffman was arguably one of the greatest character actors of all time. Even if you didn't know his name, you knew his work. However, the first many of us even heard of his son, Cooper Hoffman, was when he was announced as the lead in Licorice Pizza.
Everyone! May I have your attention, please?
Directed by his late father's former collaborator, Paul Thomas Anderson, the movie was Hoffman's debut. He'd never appeared in any other project before, but won the role after Anderson recognized his ability to seamlessly match the naturalistic acting style of his eventual co-star, Alana Haim. While his connections in the industry may have put him on the director's radar, Hoffman proved he inherited his father's gift for spontaneity.
I'm a showman. It's my calling. I don't know how to do anything else. It's what I'm meant to do.
Number 8. Elizabeth Olsen, Martha Marcy May Marlene. Considering her famous sisters made their screen debut in their infancy, Elizabeth Olsen got a late start. She was in her early 20s when she starred in her first film, Martha Marcy May Marlene.
I am a teacher and a leader. You just never let me be that, but now I am. I know who I am.
While Mary-Kate and Ashley made their name in family-friendly comedies, Olsen's role in the 2011 psychological thriller marked a significant departure. The movie depicted Olsen's character struggling to reintegrate into society after escaping a cult.
Yeah, it's not your fault, but you learn to measure success by money and possessions. It's just not the right way to live.
Martha Marcy May Marlene is a very heavy movie, full of traumatic events and graphic imagery that lingers in the mind of the viewer. It's almost as far from Full House as you can get.
Is it me, or does this family hug an awful lot?
Number 7. Carrie Fisher, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope.
Governor Tarkin, I should have expected to find you holding Vader's leash. I recognized your foul stench when I was brought on board.
Charming to the last.
The entertainment industry changed a lot between the heyday of Carrie Fisher's parents and her own film debut. Her mother, Debbie Reynolds, was a star of several squeaky clean musicals, while her father, Eddie Fisher, was the kind of smooth-voiced crooner outmoded by rock and roll. By the mid-1970s, when Fisher was getting her start, movies were weirder and wilder than anything Hollywood would have put out 2 decades prior.
You came nothing? You're braver than I thought.
Nice, come on.
Before it became a multi-million-dollar franchise, Star Wars was a ramshackle little science fiction movie everyone was convinced would flop when it premiered. With Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher helped create a new kind of cinematic heroine. She didn't sing or dance, but she was deadly with a blaster.
What the hell are you doing?
Somebody has to save our skins. Into the garbage, you flyboy!
Number 6. Robert Downey Jr., Weird Science. You know RDJ, but do you know RDS? Robert Downey Sr. was a leading underground filmmaker who specialized in low-budget satirical movies about American society and culture. In fact, Jr. even made his film debut in one of his father's productions.
That tornado scared me so much it made my hair disappear.
Have any hair on your balls?
I'm afraid to look.
If there's one thing you can say about Robert Downey Sr. is that his movies were not mainstream. While Downey Jr. may have gotten his start in his father's films, his career took a very different path soon after.
Check it out. Check it out.
What?
$5. Finsky.
He played Ian, a sadistic jock, in John Hughes' Weird Science. In 1985, this was a pretty mainstream choice, which seems to have set the course for RDJ's career in major Hollywood blockbusters.
So what about the girls? Girls, schmarls!
Number 5. Liza Manelli, The Sterile Cuckoo. When your mother is regarded by some as the greatest American entertainer of the 20th century, you've got to do something to set yourself apart. One of Liza Manelli's early film roles was Pookie Adams, the emotionally damaged outcast of The Sterile Cuckoo.
I can amuse myself. God, I'm the ultimate self-amuser, remember me?
Pookie, it's just not a good idea.
Jerry, what do you mean it's not a good idea? I think it's a fantastic idea.
Pookie was a stark contrast to the traditional, good-natured, song and dance ingenue her mother, Judy Garland, made her career on. The fact that Liza had the talent to play those conventional roles made it even more shocking that she would go for one as vulnerable and raw as Pookie. Even her mother questioned her desire to play the part.
I said, because I understand. It's a good part, Mom. Then I tried to cover up because I could hear some kind of, that I could identify with that kind of loneliness and oddity.
Manelli insisted she could relate to the character, and it showed. It earned her her first Academy Award nomination.
It was terrific. You wait and see.
Number 4. Nicolas Cage, Valley Girl.
Don't be afraid.
What are you doing here? Do you have a death wish or something?
That's what Fred said.
In the early 80s, Coppola was not a name you would associate with rom-coms. Francis Ford Coppola had already directed several all-time great films. His sister, Talia Shire, had made her own way in movies like Rocky, and their circle was wide and influential. However, when Nicolas Coppola entered the industry, he changed his last name to Cage to avoid Nepo baby gossip.
Well, at least you got me here. So let's crush that fly.
His first starring role was in the 1983 take on Romeo and Juliet, where he played an LA punk romancing the titular Valley Girl. Up to that point, Coppola movies weren't exactly a laugh-a-minute experience. Here, Cage proved not only that he could play a brutish and dangerous leading man, but he could be quite the charmer as well.
So when can I see you again? Thank you.
Really, Randy? Why don't you wait until the end of the evening to say these things?
Any questions? It's the way I feel. It's what I want.
Number 3. Maude Apatow, Euphoria. Judd Apatow, the writer, director, and producer, often collaborates with actress Leslie Mann, creating quirky characters known for their raunchy but lighthearted humor. Their daughter Maude is no stranger to the camera. Her breakout role on Euphoria strikes a very, very different tone from the projects like This Is 40 and Knocked Up. Though the controversial HBO show has some funny moments, it's nowhere near the laugh riot of her parents' most well-known work.
I feel stupid. What? Everyone feels stupid. Who cares? You feel stupid? Yeah, I did. And then I just chose not to feel stupid. I don't know if I can really get to that point.
As Lexi Howard, Apatow was a relatively quiet and understated presence on the show, compared to the characters of her co-stars, who are almost constantly spiraling. It's a performance that certainly marks her as one to watch.
Moment to myself, and I'm on stage.
Number 2. Sophia Coppola, The Godfather, Part 3. When the third film in Francis Ford Coppola's Godfather opus dropped, audiences had some problems. Among them was the casting of the director's daughter, Sophia, as the doomed Mary Corleone.
Can I please talk to you now?
Not now, Mary. It's not a good time.
You're just like my father.
Come on, stay with the family. Go on.
While her performance was not nearly as bad as people made it out to be, it was seen as a misstep for the trilogy. It seemed a bizarre choice to cast a novice performer in such a pivotal role. However, some critics, like Roger Ebert, thought her inexperience was perfect for the character.
Dad, I want this to bring me closer to you.
The younger Coppola's resume has only grown more impressive as the years have gone on. Although, she has since transitioned to working behind the camera, following her father's enormous footsteps.
I've always been interested in these stories and connected with that side. And I think it's always interesting how life throws such situations you would never see at you, and then how it helps shape who you are.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Oz Perkins, Legally Blonde. The son of Norman Bates actor Anthony Perkins plays a nerdy law student.
I have a master's in Russian literature, a PhD in biochemistry, and for the last 18 months I've been deworming orphans in Somalia.
Jeff Bridges, The Last Picture Show. His father, Lloyd Bridges, starred in movies and TV shows that glamorize the Wild West.
I blame you for it. I don't blame you much. I thought you'd do me that way. I thought we were still best friends.
We are. What you so mad for?
Maya Hawke, Stranger Things. The daughter of Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman joined the Netflix hit in its 3rd season.
Oh, what do you think you're doing?
I want to hear it.
Why?
Because maybe I can help. I'm fluent in 4 languages, you know.
Russian?
Julia Roberts, Pretty Woman. Eric Roberts' sister took a role nobody wanted and became a star.
I want to find Beverly Hills. Can you give me directions?
Sure. For $5.
Ridiculous.
Price just went up to 10.
You can't charge me for directions.
I can do anything I want to, baby. I ain't lost.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Jamie Lee Curtis, Halloween.
The boogeyman can only come out on Halloween night, right?
Right.
While I'm here tonight, I'm not about to let anything happen to you.
Promise?
Promise.
The daughter of actors Janet Leigh and Tony Curtis, Jamie Lee Curtis has never denied the advantage her industry background gave her. In fact, part of the reason she won this role was because of her mother's iconic performance in Psycho. But Halloween was a long way away from the Alfred Hitchcock classic, which was a much classier production despite being a horror movie. This was an independent shoot, far from the sound stages of Hollywood, and made in a few weeks on a shoestring budget.
I'm babysitting the Doyles. It's only 3 houses down. We can keep each other company.
Oh, terrific. I've got 3 choices. Watch the kids sleep, listen to Linda screw around, or talk to you.
Curtis was by no means Hollywood royalty on this set. She was just one of an ensemble of young, inexperienced actors making a roadshow movie. Yet, Halloween made millions, cemented Curtis as a scream queen, and launched her decades-long career.
There's always something to love. Even in a stupid, stupid universe where we have hot dogs for fingers.
Which of these Nepo baby roles surprised you the most? Sound off in the comments.
What have you done to it? What have you done to its eyes?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.